Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the show, The Book of Boba Fett. Fun fact, Boba Fett's introduction wasn't actually in a Star Wars movie, but instead in the 1980 Star Wars Christmas special. This show came out in 2022 and stars Temuera Morrison, Ming Wen, and Pedro Pascal, and was created by Jon Favreau. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The Book of Boba Fett sees Boba Fett and Fennec Shand trying to bring order and respect to a land once run by the awful Jabba the Hutt. They are met with resistance by the Pikes, who don't want their spice business to be interrupted, which leads to Boba to assemble a team to stop them. The Book of Boba Fett has an all-star cast. Temuera Morrison was in Aquaman, Ming Wen was Mulan, Pedro Pascal was in Game of Thrones, Jennifer Beals was in The L Word, David Pasquesi was in Veep, Amy Sedaris was in The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Danny Trejo was in Spy Kids, and Jon Favreau was in Spider-Man No Way Home. The Book of Boba Fett is basically an intergalactic western. If you like The Mandalorian, Foundation, or Star Wars The Clone Wars, then I suggest you give it a try. It was interesting to see the events that led to Boba Fett and Fennec Shand partnering up in The Mandalorian. I love seeing them work together and how in this show they're a lot nicer than one would expect, but you don't want to be on their bad side. Fennec Shand is such a badass in this show, and I love how she got a second chance to survive. Ming-Na Wen does a great job in this role, and I love seeing her kick ass. And that scene in the end where she pretty much just takes out a room full of people with like ease was so cool to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing Fennec come back in other properties because we've already seen her in The Mandalorian, we've seen her in this show, and we've seen her in The Bad Batch. So I'm excited for the future of Fennec Shand, and I really hope she comes back. It was interesting to see why this mission of making Tatooine a better place was such a personal mission for Boba Fett. We got to see his past with the Tuskens and how that connected to the present day with the Pikes. His pet Rancor was also scary, but also kind of cool. I wish I had a cool pet like that to ride around on and just explore. I'm always looking forward to the new character introductions in like the different Star Wars shows, and I really enjoyed the biker gang in this one and the black Wookiee that we got to see by the name of Chrysanthemum. That was really cool that they included those in the show. There was one character though, Garza Flip, who I really liked because she just seemed so confident and I loved her, but sadly at the end she died. One thing this show made me question is how the Hutts have been in power for so long. They all just seem like these blobs who don't do much but just give orders. I think if they were to be attacked, they could easily been taken out and then someone else could have replaced them and been in power. I love that we got to see Ahsoka, Luke, and Grogu. I think seeing these characters in these particular states shows where we are in the Star Wars timeline. There are so many Star Wars shows, movies, comics, and books, and sometimes it can get a little bit hard to keep up. So it's nice to have these characters at a specific point in their life, so we can kind of see where we are in the timeline and help understand what has already happened if you've seen anything else Star Wars related, and what is to come for other Star Wars properties. I love the two episodes of The Mandalorian this season, and the one directed by Bryce Dallas Howard was phenomenal. She directed the episode as well as she's directed another episode of The Mandalorian, and I would love to see her come back to direct more Star Wars content or even a movie because she has proved so far that the stuff that she has directed has been great. So I would love to see more of Bryce Dallas Howard. And she's a great actress, so maybe put her in the show too, or put her in one of the shows. I don't know. Love her though. I do, however, think that the Mandalorian episode did overshadow the Boba Fett storyline a little bit because, one, the Mandalorian has become super popular. And I'm not saying that Boba Fett isn't, but just I think he was just, overshadowed because of that popularity, but also because there are were two episodes that, had a very Mandalorian heavy storyline. And Boba Fett was probably in those two episodes for like a minute total across the two. So I feel like that was kind of something that kind of distracted, I think, from the Boba Fett storyline. I love learning more about, like the Dark Saber and the Mandalorian season three being set up, but I think that they should have found a way to incorporate Boba more into those episodes, considering that this is his show and not the Mandalorian season three. The concept art that they show at the end of each episode, as well as the helmets that they rotate through in the beginning of the show, are really cool. I love that, they have all these iconic helmets, but we also get to see some of the original ideas for the episodes at the end. I thought it was really cool to incorporate these, because the helmets show all these very iconic Star Wars characters' helmets and how you can identify them just for that. And the concept art shows kind of what was the vision going into this episode, and then we can kind of compare that to what we actually saw and see these visions come to life. My favorite part of this season was the introduction of Cad Bane. He was so prevalent in the Clone Wars series, and I was really looking forward to him making an appearance, and it surely did not disappoint. He is one bounty hunter who is not to be messed with, and he proved this with his introduction by taking out the marshal and the deputy in like one go. He is definitely a cool character in like the Star Wars universe, especially considering that he is not a Jedi, he is not part of the Sith, but he associates with them a lot and is also able to hold his own against anyone that he comes in contact with, whether they're, using the Force or not. He is a great bounty hunter, even though he always plays for like the evil team. But I really liked him in the show. It was really cool to see him in live action. The Book of Boba Fett is a fun addition to the Star Wars family. The cast is great and it lays down the groundwork for what is to come with other Star Wars shows in development. If you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, I suggest that you check it out. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.